In the depths of the Vatican secret archives, where the dust of time covers millennial secrets, a historian in white gloves opens a forbidden codex. The scent of parchment and mystery fills the rarefied air. He seeks not gold or power, but the answer to an enigma that haunts biology and faith. A secret so profound it could change the way we see love. A secret whispered by Saint Francis of Assisi 800 years ago. And this secret is not confined to Rome. It breathes and lives right there, in your living room, perhaps sleeping serenely on your sofa, looking at you at this very moment. The manuscript speaks of silent sentinels, guardians of a wisdom humanity has forgotten. And it describes, with a precision that chills the soul, our cats. The truth, according to the text, is shocking. We have never understood their true mission. They are not just pets, companions for a lifetime. They are executors of an ancient, sacred pact, one that involves protection, loyalty, and a connection that transcends matter. And the prophecy of Saint Francis is not about the past. It is being fulfilled now in your home. And this video will prove it in a way you never imagined. This story might seem like a movie, but it is very real. And to understand it, we don't need to stay in the dusty corridors of Rome. We travel to a modern laboratory where a brilliant scientist named Dr. Elena Rossi, unknowingly, was about to become the next piece of this puzzle. She was a woman of science, skeptical, perhaps because of a past pain that made her trade faith for science. She believed every mystery could be solved by a calculation. What she didn't imagine was that her research into animal sounds would lead her directly to the heart of the sacred mystery. Dr. Rossi's focus was the purr of cats. For science, it was a simple sound of contentment. But one day, she analyzed the sound of a cat that lived with a war veteran suffering from deep sorrow. She isolated the audio, cleaned the noise, and then she heard it. Hidden in the familiar sound, there was another sound, a secret, deep, and complex frequency. She ran the tests again and again, certain it was an equipment error, but it wasn't. It was real. It was a structured melody, as if it were a coded message of peace, something that biology alone could not have created. Haunted by this discovery, Dr. Rossi dove into digital archives, searching for anything that could explain the impossible. And she found it. In the diary of a 19th century doctor named Dr. Alistair Finch, an account of a sergeant named Thomas, whose gaze was lost to war. Dr. Finch described how a stray gray cat entered the infirmary and refused to leave the sergeant's side. It slept on his chest every night. Within a week, the night terrors that haunted Thomas ceased completely. The doctor, perplexed, wrote in his diary, "It's as if she sings to his soul." A Franciscan miracle. Dr. Rossi then used an artificial intelligence program to map millions of cat adoption records, searching for cats with that melody of the soul. The result was the turning point. The world map lit up on her screen, but not with random dots. They were arteries of golden light connecting the points on the map, forming a global web of care and compassion. The statistical probability of this happening by chance was 1 in a trillion. It wasn't luck. It was a plan in action, a divine intervention. Science had taken her as far as it could. Now she needed the final key. With the help of a contact, she gained access to high-quality photos of the manuscript of Saint Francis. And there, she also found a note from an ancient cardinal explaining why the text was hidden. It was considered a dangerous fantasy, as it gave a sacred role to a common animal. The note said, "The common man should seek the divine in God, not in a creature. This idea may lead the faithful astray." The truth was locked away out of fear, because they could not comprehend the simplicity of God's love. And the prophecy at last revealed all its beauty. The manuscript, in fact, was like a letter from Saint Francis to the future. He wrote, "For in times of great trial, I shall send not armies, but sentinels of fur and silence. They will find the purest hearts, those who love without asking for anything in return, and they will become their anchor of light. The prophecy explained that cats are guardians of the soul, with a mission to protect the happiness and purify the home of their chosen ones. And how does this protection work? Imagine your heart as a lake, often stirred by the storms of life. The presence of your guardian is like a smooth, calm river stone, which, upon contacting you, creates ripples of tranquility that spread throughout your entire being. They act as a lightning rod for sorrow. They absorb the heavy energies of an environment and, through the simple act of existing, transmute them into peace. That is why an environment becomes lighter and safer with the presence of a cat. In our modern world, increasingly loud, anxious, and digital, this silent mission has never been more crucial. We live surrounded by people, yet many feel alone. We seek connection through screens, but we feel an emptiness. These beings of pure presence offer us a real, heart-to-heart connection. They are the detox for our overwhelmed souls, the silent antidote to the loneliness of the 21st century. The prophecy of Saint Francis was especially for our times. Now, let's talk about your guardian's gestures. When he is kneading on your lap, it's not just a childhood instinct. The prophecy says it is an act of transferring comforting energy, of reactivating the feeling of safety. When he waits for you at the door, it's not just hunger. It is the joy of the sentinel seeing his charge return to the safety of home. Every behavior, which once seemed simple, now reveals itself as a chapter in your own sacred story. Perhaps, in a world that often forgets its elders, its wisest, you might feel invisible at times. But understand this in your heart. For this being of pure light and love, you are the center of his universe. He doesn't see your age, your pains, or your worries. He sees the light of your soul, your history, your laughter, your tears. All of this composes the song that drew him to you. To him, you are not one person among billions. You are the purpose of his existence. From today on, your relationship with him can be even more profound. Try this little ritual. Tonight, before you sleep, simply sit in silence near him. Don't try to pet him, don't call him. Just breathe deeply and be present. Observe him. You will feel a calm settle in the room, a sense of peace that wasn't there before. This is his language, the language of silence, love, and protection. It is the living proof inside your own home that the prophecy is real. This connection is a gift of incalculable value, the beauty of the prophecy disguised in the simplicity of everyday life. Honoring your guardian is our way of participating in this divine plan. To help you take care of your angel with the very best, I have researched and selected some special recommendations for products and resources that I trust. The links are in the description and in the first pinned comment. If this prophecy has touched your soul, subscribe, leave a like so more hearts can be reached, and share your story in the comments. Tell us, what is your guardian's name?